There is a sentence near the front of most serious documents that almost nobody reads, and it decides the meaning of everything after it. It is the definitions section. I want to show you what it does using an insurance policy, because this one contains a definition of the word in its own name. One document today, a 15-page flood insurance policy, public, blank, nobody's actual cover. 28 terms defined, and every quote you are about to see checked against the page it came from before this was rendered. What is a flood? It needs a general and temporary condition of partial or complete inundation of 2 or more acres of normally dry land area, or of 2 or more properties. 2 acres, or 2 properties. Water in only your house is not automatically the thing this policy is named for. That is one word. The policy redefines 28 of them. A basement is an area having its floor below ground level on all sides. All sides. A walkout, open at one end, is not one. A base flood has a 1% chance of being equaled or exceeded in any given year. 1 chance in 100 every year, not once a century. And then it writes the rest of the policy in those words. 28 defined terms, used 377 more times across 10,811 words of policy. That is a redefined word roughly every 29 words. So reading a clause without reading the definitions is not reading it faster. It is reading a different document. Here is the part one did not expect at all. The policy explains itself. Some definitions are complex because they appear that way in the law or result from court cases, and the precise definitions are intended to protect you, which is partly fair. A precise line is one an adjuster cannot move either. Only one of those two is your problem. So on anything you sign, read the definitions section before the clause you actually care about. That is what this public form says on the pages shown, and it is not insurance advice. That number is doing something specific. 2 acres, or 2 properties, one of which is yours. It is drawing a line between a flood and every other way water gets into a building, a burst pipe, a blocked drain, a single unlucky house. Those are real damage, and they may be covered by something, but they are not automatically the event this policy is named for. The threshold is what makes flood an external, checkable thing rather than an argument. I came to this expecting a stitch-up. The policy says its definitions are complex because they are provided as they appear in the law or regulations or result from court cases, and that the precise definitions are intended to protect you. I am quoting that rather than paraphrasing it, because it is their sentence and it is partly right. A precise line is one that cannot be moved when you claim. It binds the insurer too. A vague word like substantial damage is the one you should actually fear, because vague words get decided by whoever has more lawyers. So the definitions are not the trap. Not knowing they exist is. It is not an insurance thing. Every document like this does it. A lease defines tenant, and it may include people you did not think of. Terms of service define account and content. An employment contract defines cause, and that single definition decides whether you get paid on the way out. So the method is 3 steps, and it works on anything. This is the one that changed how I read. 28 defined terms, used 377 more times across 10,811 words of policy. About 1 redefined word every 29 words. There is no paragraph in this document you can read at face value, and that is not unusual. It is just visible here because somebody numbered them. So the sentence I would leave you with is this. When you read a document like this, you are not reading English. You are reading a dictionary that happens to have clauses attached, and the dictionary was written by one of the 2 parties. That is not a scandal. It is how precision works, and precision protects both sides. But it does mean the definitions section is not the boring part before the document starts. It is the document, and everything after it is just application. Read it first. This is what one public form says on the pages shown, and for anything you are actually insured under, ask someone qualified. Not insurance advice. One of these every day, on the paperwork nobody enjoys. Subscribe if that's useful to you.